Go ahead and skip to the first chapter if you just want to move and do the class. If not, you can listen to this first little part if you need it. And basically that is to say this is going to be a 10-minute daily core routine that you can do. It's very simple. It's perfect for beginners, postpartum, post-procedure. And with postpartum and post-procedure, and of course with anyone, make sure that you're healthy, you're cleared by your doctor, all of that good stuff. So giving yourself time, and if you need something that's a little peeled back or you need something that's stepped up, I'll link some classes below that you can either step it back or step it forward, whatever you need. Always listening to your body, making sure that you have a nice foundation and that you're setting yourself up for the best outcome for your body, which is not anyone else's body. All right, that being said, I'm just gonna use a squishy ball, but if you could just use a pillow, you don't have to have any special props. I've got a towel for head support and a little squishy ball, and that's it. Let's get started. All right, first things first, we're gonna rest on your back and we're gonna try and get this in under 10 minutes. So let's go. We're gonna take the ball between the thighs. I'm gonna put it pretty close to my pubic bone. I'm gonna walk my feet close together so they're not wider than my knees, so that when I squeeze whatever I've got, again, I'm not trying to like break it. I'm just trying to think I'm hugging my feet, my inner thighs, my hips, my waistline, everything to center. I'm gonna exhale, I'm gonna squeeze and think about my pelvic floor and belly kind of coming in and up and my waistline coming in, but I'm trying to keep my shoulders, my ribs, and my tail very grounded. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. Feel like you're also pulling your feet, your inner thighs, two sides of your pubic bone, your two sits bones, your waistline, everything in and a little bit up. So a little pelvic floor elevator. Inhale, release. Exhale, pulling in and up. Noticing where you tend to work harder and where maybe it's a little bit slower. And see if you can let that balance out a little bit. So the slower part, you might have to send your brain there a little bit more. One more like this. I'm choosing to use the head support so my ribs stay a little grounded and it's not pulling on my neck or my back. Exhale, in and up. And then release. Slide your head support away. Keep whatever you've got between your legs. We're gonna take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, this time you're gonna hug to center and you're gonna let your pelvis curl under. Now, if your spine is such that you don't need to roll it, keep it neutral and just hinge at your hips, right? You would just imagine there's a spatula underneath your butt, lifting it off and you work through your hip joint. If you can, you're gonna exhale and roll the pelvis towards your face and slowly lift up, reaching your knees out over your middle toes, breathing in. Slowly roll back down. Now I know this is glutes and hamstrings, but your glutes are still integrated with your pelvic floor and your low back muscles, which is still part of your core. So you're gonna exhale, hug, and roll up or hinge up, 2. And then coming down, allowing your spine, right? Really deeply our core, our spine, like the front of your spine. As we move and find length and space, we're gonna do that again, coming up to, this is number 3. Who knows counting? And coming down, we're gonna go a little swifter now. And you're gonna come up, really working through the hips. So make sure your belly's not pushing out, your back's not lifting you. You kind of have this like in and up through the belly, long back, really active through the back of the hips, and a nice yawn in the front of the hips. And you're just gonna tap down and up for 1. Hugging whatever you got between your legs for 2. That might mean that your range of motion is a little bit less than you think if you're really parallel here. 5, make sure the belly's still working. Hug and lift. 6, 7, 8, make sure you're not taking tension in your neck and shoulders or your throat. 1 more. And this one, stay up, reach your arms overhead. If your shoulders allow, you can go into nice V and then exhale, really pull with your abdominals, pull the ribs down, massage your back down. Notice if it's center or center-ish or really off as mine is today, and then come all the way around. Whatever you've got between your thighs, take it to the side. I'm gonna slide my head support back underneath me. Now, this is where I really wanna get my ribs down, but I don't wanna to my ribs so much that my shoulders and my neck pull, or that my belly pushes up towards the ceiling. So that very first thing you did of that in and up, you're gonna use. And I'm going to roll my mat out of my way because my mat is a sticky mat. If you've got hardwood floors or socks, it'll be a lot easier. So pelvis level, ribs heavy and level. Use whatever props you need, head support to get the ribs and shoulders in a nice place. You need some padding underneath your back, you're welcome to use that. You're going to inhale as you slide a leg away, only go out as far as you don't dump into your lower back or let the ribs flare. So you got to keep all of that working. Exhale, here's that pelvic floor elevator, waistline drawing in as you pull the leg in. Heel slides, inhale, leg out. Exhale, pulling in. Those bridging muscles, those hamstrings and glutes, you can use that on your stabilizing leg to help keep your pelvis and spine a little bit more stable, pelvis and low back specifically. Inhale out. Exhale, pelvic floor, belly working in and up. Inhale out. Exhale in and up. Inhale out. Exhale in and up. It's hard to, as you go through this, to sort of figure out where are the places, like I can really feel my low abdominals kicking in, but where I have a little diastasis still from my second pregnancy, it's a little hard to get it active. So I'm just going to take my hands there and help it. If you wanted to add on to this, you would support your head and neck, not your shoulders propping you up and not your chin leading. You're going to wrap your elbows into your peripheral vision, lift up so that your ribs get even heavier, but again, navel not pushing up, holding the navel back. You're going to inhale one leg out. And so I'm really low. I'm not trying to curl up crazy high. I'm just enough to get a little bit more contact in those ribs. Exhale in and up. Inhale out. Exhale in and up. It's hard on that left leg for me to keep my right side from hiking. But we just do the best we can and use your hands, your eyes to help yourself. All right, one more time each side, whatever variation you have going on, head up or head down. Exhale, start with the belly before you drag the legs in. Inhale out. Exhale, pulling the belly in. Oh, there's my right side of even my obliques trying to wake up. All right, then. If you need to, you're gonna let your mat roll back out. You can hug your knees into your chest. Very gently, you're gonna roll to one side and you're gonna make your way to your hands and knees. On hands and knees, if you need knee padding or wrist padding, you could roll up your towel that I've been using for my head support, or if you have something that you really like, you can use that. So hands and knees, all of that beautiful belly work you were just using, we're now gonna use for stability here. If you need support, definitely put a magic circle, a pile of pillows, a physio ball, like one of those big physio balls underneath your belly for support. And you're gonna find the hands underneath the shoulders, maybe do a shoulder shrugs, knees underneath the hips. Find not a tail tuck and not a tail lift, but just somewhere in between. And on your exhale, you're gonna slide one leg back, keep it on the ground. Breathe in. Did you keep both sides of your waist even in length? Did you keep your pubic bone to breastbone long and your head to tail long? On your next exhale, pulling the belly in and up, slide the opposite arm out. You're gonna try and stay stable here. And on your exhale, you're gonna reach. So find length through the limbs that are extended and lift up. Inhale, tap them down. Now you might just keep the leg and the hand down and kind of bring them in and out repeatedly, or you could lift them up and down. I'd love for you to get to the point where you can really get that up and down. Let's coordinate it with an inhale on the way down. Exhale, pelvic floor, belly working as you lift and reach. Inhale down. Exhale, pelvic floor, belly as you lift and reach. Just one more. Exhale, lift and reach. Bring the arm down and in. Bring the leg down and in. Take a breath. Exhale, find the leg reaching out. Did you keep everything level? Lifted. Slide the opposite arm out. Again, you could just bend, bring everything in and out. But you want to get to the point where you can lift and lower without collapsing, wiggling, rocking, or minimal at least. Maybe there's some of that. But we're trying to reach, lengthen. Exhale as you lift. 2. Exhale, pelvic floor and belly, reach and lift. 3. Exhale, reach and lift. 4. And this side's a little different. I can't get my leg quite as high. That's my driving leg, so it gets a little tighter in the front. 2 more. Exhale, reach and lift. And 1 more. And bring the arm down, bring the leg down. From there, if you need a little rest, you take yourself back to child's pose. Walk the hands out, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, pull your ribs and your belly away from your thighs and roll forward into a kneeling plank. Bring your hips as far forward as you can without sinking in your sacrum and low back. Hug your inner thighs together. If you need your prop that goes between your inner thighs, have that there. Don't think push it forward, think squeeze it between my inner thighs. Holding here, breathing. And first and foremost, just practice getting the head, the chest, the ribs, the navel, lifting, the inner thighs hugging towards each other and just holding that. And once you're good with that, then you slowly lower down for 1 and you push up. As you lower down, make sure you're not sinking. You're lifting and integrating all of that in there. As you go 2, maybe you just hold the plank. Maybe you do 1 push up and stretch back. And the next time you do 2. And the next time you do 3, 4, and then you try for 5. Keeping the head, the chest, the navel, ribs, all of that supported. And then you go back and you stretch. And when you're ready to sit up, you keep the hips really heavy. I've shifted back to a child's pose, and then I'm slowly going to roll up. Thinking pelvis to neutral, then my ribs, shoulders, head. And that's it. Very simple. Just 5 exercises, really. So 5 simple things that you can do. You don't have to do them in that order, although I like that sort of building. So it builds from like just a gentle awareness, breath work, belly connection, into a little spinal movement and hip movement. And then more, your movements get bigger and with more load as you progress through the 10 minutes. All right, until next time, keep moving.